Hi, I'm Vanessa from Jettle, and today we're going to talk about your essay structure when writing about Oodgeroo Noonuccal's poems. Before we jump into the video, make sure you subscribe to this channel and head over to jettle.com to get even more comprehensive resources to help you with your HSC. When you're structuring an essay, you need to go in with a clear plan. The first thing to do is to unpack your essay question. Figure out what is it asking you? What are the key words? Because without doing this, you can't structure your essay and you can't come up with a good thesis or argument. Let's just say you're planning an essay and need to select poems and are trying to come up with the right order. There is no right or wrong order, but you need to figure out what order is going to work for your argument. So this means connecting poems based on the keywords of the questions and figuring out how can I build my argument with each poem, with one poem in each paragraph. In this particular example, let's say that your question's asking you about the connection between spirituality and place in Noonuccal's poetry. You might choose to start with a focus on her Aboriginal cultural identity and the way that perspective connects place and spirituality. So you could talk about Reed Flute Cave. That poem deals with that theme really nicely, and while it's a cross-cultural sort of experience, it's still mostly about her Aboriginal identity and voice and ownership of her culture. Then you can build on that point by focusing on China Woman. That is a clear connection between those two poems because they're both cross-cultural experiences. They're both reflecting on the way culture is shaped by unique identities. But in this case, rather than focusing just alone on her Aboriginal identity, she's reflecting on China's cultural identity from her experience. She's reflecting on the way that place has its own sort of spiritual identity, its own sort of culture, from her unique Indigenous perspective. So we're building on the first argument with a new idea that extends the original idea of the first point. And then that leads us into our third point. You could talk about a shared spiritual experience, the way that that links to place in a lake within a lake. In that particular poem, it's a more broader and universal experience of spirituality and place, and the way that that can apply to any culture. It can apply to any cultural identity or person. So each idea should flow into the next in such a way that if you were to reorder these points, your essay wouldn't make sense anymore. Instead, think about it as building up an argument, and you're laying the foundation in the previous argument for your next point to build on the point that came before it. And that's how you structure an essay to be really strong, to be clear, and to get your point across. If you've liked this resource, make sure you go to jettle.com to find more like it and subscribe to our channel for more videos.